Hello, I'm Michaela and this is the Reader Problems book tag. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How do you possibly decide what to read next? And what I do is just choose what I feel like reading, or read the first 2 pages, and if interest is enough, I'll carry on reading. Question 2. You're halfway through a book and you're really just not loving it. What do you do? Carry on reading or quit. And most books I do carry on reading because I don't have OCD, but I'm slightly OCD with it. And I've only ever had to stop reading Mrs. Dalloway because I'm not always very good with adult classics. Question 3. It's so close to the end of the year, you're so close to and yet so far from that Goodreads goal. What do you do to catch up? And it just depends on how many books away I am from the goal, and this time it was only the one book that I knew I wasn't going to read, so I just changed it to one book less on my Goodreads challenge and cheated because I wasn't well, so I just didn't bother. Question 4. The covers on your favourite series don't match up. How do you cope? And I don't bother coping, I just get on with it knowing that I'm not going to buy another copy because I don't want to waste my money on something I already have. Question 5. Everyone loves a book that you just don't like. What do you do? And I'll usually just say if I don't like it. Like, it's like with some John Green books, everyone raves about them and I don't think they're as good. Though if I do think it's as good, like The Fault in Our Stars, I'll rave about it just as much. Question 6. If you're reading a book in public and you're about to cry, what do you do? And I don't usually cry at books because they're never emotional enough to make us cry, apart from like make my eyes well up, and even then usually that just doesn't happen. Question 7. The sequel to a book you loved just came out and you can't remember what happened. What do you do? And I'll usually just watch a video or go to Goodreads or something and find out like about the book to remind us what happened without spoiling the next book. Question 8. You don't want anyone borrowing your books, and under no circumstances, what do you tell them? You tell them no, because no, or ask them to go somewhere else for the book. You have picked up so many books in the past month. How do you get over your reading slump? Well, like I said earlier, I don't usually just quit a book. I usually just read it all the way through, but if possible, I'll try and get an audio book for free without having to spend extra money on this book and use that to help, like with Eleanor and Park. It's a great book, but I was struggling to get into it and the audio book helped a lot. Question 10. There are so many books that are coming out and you want to read them all at the same time. How many of these books do you actually buy? And usually that's only about 2, because there's never more than maybe 2 or 3 books that I want to buy that are new releases. But a lot of the books that I do buy are from the past maybe 5 or 10 years and they're easier to get a hold of, so usually they're not that new. Question 11. After you've bought these books, how long do they sit on your shelf? And most of them aren't on the shelf for any longer than a month, but there is a handful such as the Game of Thrones and Iron Pilgrim, which have been there for about 3, so I'm just scared by those books, I guess. But thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you watch another one soon.